Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you guys had a fantastic week. Just want to go over what happened this week. We'll go over what happened today and what I'm looking forward to going back into next week, of course. So this week filled with a lot of another expansion move up, and then we came back down to close pretty flat on the week here with NQ. ES closed a lot stronger than NQ obviously this week. But remember, ES is the one that is climbing towards those all-time highs here at 50.27. Biggest thing from this week was NQ took 17,700 and it actually got about 90 points above 17,700, and that's where we put in a high of week. So I think it was Wednesday was high of week, and then obviously Tuesday was a low of week. Remember, it's very rare on a Friday that we put in a new high or a low of week, and then you see that's exactly what happened today. So going into next week, I would expect this. I would expect today's low to be targeted, because obviously bearish candle close under here. What's that mean on the next day bias video? Usually means we at least take out the next candle's low, kind of here bearish close, and then we at least take out this candle's low, and then I do think we left those London lows down here today. If we drag this all the way down here over here. Not the best draw here, but let's see if I can bring it down a little more. But you see, like, smooth lows, right? Compared with these relative equal lows, all sitting down here, and then maybe even a trip down here to that 409 land, and then we have these relative equal lows sitting down here around 428 that could also be a target. Just because we're going to go into next week a little bit bearish because of today's close. Hourly order block sitting right here, has now been validated with the candles closed today. This was the final candle of the day, though, very low volume and whatnot, so might be a little hard to trust that. But as you see, we are building up. We do see we get a little LRLR here. Biggest thing today, remember I was watching ES had the same thing kind of build up here on the 4 hour. It did happen. It did run most of that today. The biggest thing with ESA, we did have a target of 49.33 on ES coming into today. We hit that. YM also hit it as well. Remember, we were watching YM here. Biggest thing with YM coming into today, we were watching this 4 hour, look how like textbook this algorithmic trend line is. Usually tells us we want to break up. We had a target of 38.305, and we hit it. And then remember, we were holding 50% from this swing low. Look how well 50% held here with this 4 hour FVG sitting here. Perfect spot to look for longs, and that obviously brought the markets up today along with ES. But I do think ES could continue climbing. Maybe we just need a little pullback first. So I mean, ES could keep bringing the markets up, but if I'm looking at NQ alone, it just looks like if we go to our 4 hour, right? Obviously we have this trend line starting to build here, but if I'm looking at this right now, it looks like a 4 hour sell model to, like, these lows, the London lows sitting down here. Because look, you have this low here, you have this low here. They're just close, right? Like, you want to target where your close lows are. This is like your serrated side. Market doesn't want to go up here. Market wants to go where there's more smooth low settings, because there's going to be a lot more buy stops. But it looks like a 4 hour sell model down to that 410 level, 409. And the reason I think that is because of this, right? Like, you have 4 hour order block here. Look how well the bodies respect this 4 hour order block here. Completely respects it. Doesn't even close back above inside the body of this one. And then if we move it down, this one yesterday, this one as well, this one as well. You see how, like, price was respected, right? As soon as we close below, this becomes your 4 hour order block off of this one, and then price comes back down. We test it a few times, and we keep rejecting. So the biggest thing here is, like, and then if we go to the hourly chart, we pretty much have the same thing, right? Like, 4 hour order block here, rejected. We rejected at the halfway point. came back down 0.9 and now we put in another hourly now another hourly order block here. So the big thing going into Sunday is going to be this hourly right here, right? This is the one we bounced from this morning, and we were holding. This is what took us back up 50%, and then we kind of rejected up here. Biggest thing was up here was the SMT with ES. If we get rid of this here, this was the high we were looking for on NQ. And then I noticed this, and it's like, oh, if you look at this to here, and then if you look at, oh, here, I'll do it on this chart. It might make it easy. It might make it easier to see. A lot of lines here. But we see it's like since ES already took this high, NQ doesn't, right? So if you look how this lines up, you can see the dotted line over here on NQ. This high was already swept by ES, so NQ does not have to take the high. We can absolutely reject here and go lower, and you can see that's exactly what happened. Um, I thought we were going to be a little more bullish, maybe coming into today, until I seen the London lows. But you see what happens up here, right? Like this was our long yesterday. We actually took a long here. Um, remember to close yesterday because I was targeting our 50%, right? We hit 50%. We exited right here. We sold it pretty much the top yesterday. We missed it by 2 points. But we sold the top here, and then what happens overnight? We reject. We come back lower because we expect lower. What happens? We come down and we come into and we look at the hourly charts this morning. I'm like, okay, what can happen here? Well, this was 4 o'clock this morning. Where we started to pump a little bit, and I'm like, oh well, it's possible we could come back up to this high, but we had the SMT with ES, and I'm like, what can happen here? Well, we can look for longs if we like start dumping here, which we did. Right here, we look for longs. It's like, oh, we're under 50%. There's an hourly here. We already took a bunch of lows from the previous day, and now we can look for longs. We found some longs in here. We were 5 for 5 today on our trades today. Just a really, really, really good day and some really good price action. And then obviously at the high up here today, there was this. This was the play right here. You could have caught this. Let's see, where was it? I think there was a 3 minute. Yeah, there was a 3 minute inverse right here that you could have caught to ride this all the way down, at least to the 504 low, right? Um, but and then obviously we had this little inverse head and shoulders pattern, right? We come down, we take the AM lows, right? We take AM lows. Oh boy, AM AM lows, and then what do you expect after you take a low? Even if you're bearish, just like what we did over here, this with these yesterday when we longed in to close, it's like, oh, what can happen here? Like, okay, we might be in a big old 4 hour sell model, but we're still gonna get these 50% retracements back up, right? So we draw our 50%. Look what happens at 50%. Same thing happens on ES. We draw our 50%, and we know, like, okay, like we cannot be bullish until we inverse this 15 or this 5 minute that are in the way. If we inverse those, 50% doesn't really matter. The market's showing us that it has the strength to go back up to these highs. Um, so that's pretty much precisely what happened today, and it doesn't make sense for the market to go up here, reject the 50%, just come down and take these lows again, and then go back up higher. Like if this low would have taken like the lows down here and then gone up higher if we were going to keep going higher, if that makes sense. Like the fact the market comes back here and takes these lows, pretty much tells us that you know, probably down here at London lows is going to be our target going into Sunday morning. So maybe Sunday we get some kind of like, you know, down here, up here, or maybe we come down, we take those lows at 410, complete that 4 hour sell model, and then we get like longs back up, and then ES continues higher. But so that's pretty much what I'm looking for going into this coming week. Like you can see, it just kind of looks like it looks like a straight up 15-minute sell model, right? Like 50% up, down, order blocks, order blocks, order blocks, just forming right here on the 15 taking us down to these London lows. So this is gonna be my target going into Sunday here. And then if we show no displacement up here, then I think 410 is going to be the draw where we can complete the bigger 4-hour sell model, because you see here from here to here, 50% up, reject 4-hour order block and down, and then just just being a dead horse here. But I mean, it's just how the market is programmed to move. Um, what else I want to show you? Oh, I want to show you the importance of volume imbalances here. So obviously this was our little up move today after we took these lows. Um, and then look at this. So if you draw our 50%, we know what happened at 50% today. But what else do you notice about this? Obviously I said volume imbalance. Look at that. Market does not like to continue a trend without filling those volume imbalances. It still happens. We go far enough to make 50% just below the volume imbalance, so we had to go hit 50%, fill in this volume imbalance. We didn't come up to this one, but you see where the market rejected, like absolutely like precise. Didn't even come up a little bit higher into this 5-minute FVG. It just wanted to fill this volume imbalance, and then that's straight up where we rejected right there. So I mean that's today. Next week, I do think like I said, I do think like 410's possible. But if we start to get a really bearish after there, we have this daily OB down here, right here. That we could potentially draw to. Look what lines up with this daily OB, this weekly OB. Sorry. If you draw our high of week down to here, look what you have. You have 50% on the weekly. You fill in this weekly FEG that we have now put in, weekly volume imbalance here, and this is your weekly order block. Look where that lines up. Lines up just below the 0.5 fib where the market likes to move to. So maybe something like this down to 1770 or so, and then back up. What else do we know is at 1770? We know we have a daily breaker right here with these candles, where we put in a swing high, took those out, and then closed back above. You can see that's where price should support. Another good example of the breaker would be today, I believe. Let's see, would be right here. Bullish breaker would be like right here. You see how price respected it today to keep price up. And then I'll show you guys one more thing here. Oh yeah, we're on the daily chart here. But yeah, daily breaker here, and then obviously what I've been showing you guys over and over. Our daily order block and everything lines up with the weekly order block. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have a daily order block, but we have the daily BPR, the daily breaker block, the weekly order block, all line up at that zero point 0.5 fib. So it just kind of makes sense to come back there, hit it, and then go back up higher. But we do not have to. I mean, we could absolutely keep on pumping from here, but it seems like the market maybe wants some kind of breather, come fill in these daily FEGs and the weekly FEG below. So we're gonna start off the Sunday bearish and see what happens at them 466 lows and the 410 lows if we get them, and then that should give us guidance for the rest of the week. ES pretty much gonna be the same idea. Um, ES 4 hours just nasty here, but if you look at where do you see smooth lows at? Yeah, there's some up here, but you see all these lows here. I think these are all gonna be a target for next week. Coming down to here. Let's see what the daily looks like. Daily, nice bounce right here off this daily order block. This was actually very convincing here. So like I said, it still looks very uncorrelated on the higher time frame. YM doesn't look too awfully bearish either. You see daily order block just wicked into it. Nice reaction from it today. So I mean, both are going to be. It looks a little uncorrelated going into next week. Obviously, ES put in a weekly FEG, so maybe we get something like this going into next week up to we push up to all-time highs eventually. I do think ES is still drawing up there. Just got to see and get more confirmation on that, especially to get NQ cooperating more. But other than that, the next level worth watching for on ES is going to be at that 49.660 level. This daily high, weekly high, sitting up here and then maybe some kind of pullback from there. But I do think we're drawing up to there and then up to 50.27. With that, really don't have anything else to show you guys. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Hope your teams win if your playoff team is still alive, and we will catch you guys on Monday.